Well. Stream number 2 on deck. And DeAndre Hopkins is now a Baltimore Raven, as we maybe projected and discussed. What the heck is Tilly doing back here? She's trying to make, you can't even see because it's dark right now. It's 9 o'clock, and Tilly is not used to this late night live streaming. Till, shh, what are you doing? We're talking D-Hop right now. He just became a Raven. Okay, she's getting herself comfortable on the bed. But anyway, the Ravens are getting themselves comfortable with the idea of bringing D-Hop to Baltimore, and that's exactly what they've done, and that's exactly what we're going to discuss coming up in this spontaneous live stream. I will tell you that I've been out with family all night. I had dinner here in Orlando with a ton of my cousins. It was a wine night, much like it was last night. So bear with me here as I collect my thoughts on this breaking news, and that is the Ravens solidifying their wide receiver room for the 2025 season. This episode is brought to you by my friends at Preston Automotive Group. Appreciate you guys for being with me here late night. Like the video on your way in. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And hit that notification bell so you can be notified of when we're dropping these types of spontaneous live streams. Lamar has a new weapon in Baltimore. Ian Rappaport of NFL Network on top of it. According to his sources, Chiefs wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins is expected to sign with the Ravens on a 1-year, $6 million deal. DeAndre, as we discussed on the Vault earlier today, will turn 33 in June. He is an aging wide receiver, there's no question, but he will fill a void in Baltimore, and he will be Nelson Aguilar's replacement. And, of course, his career to date can't be questioned. He has more than 2 times the receptions, receiving yards, receiving touchdowns, and receiving EPA in his career than every other wide receiver on this active roster combined. Now, how much does that say? Because it's a really inexperienced group. Yeah, you keep that and take that into account. But as much as this is about trying to replace Nelson and trying to fortify your room and bring in a true number 3 wide receiver, I think you can also make the argument that this is as much about grooming a young group, much like Odell did in 2023. And so I think there's a lot to like about this. This is what I projected during our lunch hour live stream. If you joined us, we were looking at the veteran wide receiver market. We were looking at names like Amari Cooper, like DeAndre Hopkins, like Cooper Kupp. And I just thought to myself, realistically speaking, considering how the Ravens team build and what their philosophy is at this position, what they have in front of D-Hop and Zay and Bate, and obviously the reality of where they are right now, cap-wise, this to me made the most sense. DeAndre is ring chasing. Joined Kansas City in season last year, played for 2 different teams. First it was Tennessee, finished the year in Kansas City, and of course came up short in the Super Bowl to Philadelphia. Still managed to put up 500 plus yards last year between the 2 organizations. And when you think about that and changing teams in season, look, I think he's going to have no issue whatsoever replacing Nelly's production. To me, this is more about how can you push the room? How can you be a contested catch winning player for Baltimore? And how ultimately you pair with Lamar Jackson, because this has been building for a while. The 2 have spoken very highly about one another over the years. Got to go back to the I Am Athlete podcast appearance that D-Hop gave just a couple years ago.
Your name also got thrown into the mix during Lamar and that Baltimore saga again, and it was reported that you and Odell Beckham were 2 names that Lamar threw out there and said, if you guys want to make me happy and you want me back, this is what I want. He got Odell. The Baltimore Ravens reportedly said, we can't afford to get you both. In a perfect world, if you were able to make that situation work, would you? Would that be intriguing to you? Did you hear about Lamar's request?
I love Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is one of my favorite athletes, and since I've been watching sports, I'm a sports fan. So I was watching Lamar when he played Clemson, my alumni, and I was like, who is this kid? So I've been a fan of Lamar for a long time. So obviously he's one of the greats, and I would be lying to sit here and say, it wouldn't be an honor one day, if my career allows me to play that long, to play with a great guy and a great quarterback like Lamar, or with Tom Brady, I was like, I want to play with a Tom Brady. I'm a receiver. Marsh, you know how it is. As a receiver, you want to play with some of the best quarterbacks, that's out there, and Lamar is obviously one of those.
D-Hop, a couple years ago, talking about his now teammate, Lamar Jackson, certainly has an affinity for number 8. That goes both ways. Here they are pictured several years back in February of 2020. Look at the King far left, Lamar in the middle. This was his first MVP trophy night. I think it was the NFL honors, if I'm not mistaken. And DeAndre says, how many touchdowns would this trio total? Well, we're going to have a chance to see it 5 years later. Look, do I find this to be needle moving? No, I don't want to sit here and exaggerate. I don't want to be hyperbolic. But I do think that whatever D-Hop has left to give on this 1-year deal not only fortifies the wide receiver room, right? Rounds it out. Devontae Walker's going to have a chance to be the 4th or 5th wide receiver. Perhaps Tylan Wallace will be re-signed. And they're going to draft somebody at some point, maybe a day 3 wide receiver, to come in there and compete, depending on how many they take on the 53-man, 5 or 6. But even more so than that, can D-Hop be a presence in the red zone? Can D-Hop be that overwhelming, possession guy when it comes to contested catch winning balls, 50-50 balls? How much does he have left in the tank? And how timely can he be? Like, I want to see him used in the red zone. I want to see him used in the slot. I think Todd Monken has another chess piece now in front of him to be added to what's a frickin' star-studded group. And this graphic right here isn't even including Isaiah Likely. The new offense, FanDuel graphic here, Lamar, the King, D-Hop, Zay, Bate, Andrews, and again, you have to add in there Isaiah Likely. Right? Roger, I'm with you. That's why he's here, is the red zone threat. Maybe that's their vision. And Evan, you're right. I don't think they're in the needle moving business anyway. They have everything they need. And this just is a low cost, low risk move that you knew the Ravens were going to make. It wasn't a matter of when, it wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when. And that's why we were taking a close look at some of the veterans that were still out on the open market as of earlier this afternoon. Now, just one logistic here. D-Hop cancels out the Ravens' 7th round 2026 compensatory pick for Malik Harrison. It puts a 6th on the board for the Kansas City Chiefs, just so that, this really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. But if you're in the business of tracking and keeping count of compensatory picks, that's the latest there from Nick Cordy over the cap. So, would love to get your thoughts on this breaking news from earlier in the evening. Not kidding you. I'm sitting out with the cousins doing a cookout here in Orlando. I got a couple glasses of wine in me, and all of a sudden across the screen, because when I'm with family, I like to keep my phone off to the side. So it wasn't even like my phone was blowing up. But across the bottom line on ESPN, report, Ravens sign free agent wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins. And I'm like, motherfucker. So here we are. Here we are to talk about it. We also got to talk about Arthur Maulet, who's set to be released by the Ravens. But the guest lines are open. I appreciate you guys for being with me here tonight. This episode is brought to you by my friends at Preston Automotive Group. In Baltimore, if you're looking for your next ride, I would love for you to check out my friends at Preston. They've got locations nearby in Aberdeen and Randallstown and all across Delmarva. Preston has the selection and the deals to get you on the road today. They've got over 2,000 vehicles to choose from. Home delivery is available. You've got exclusive offers just for you, my subscribers. There's no better time to shop with Preston. Cars cost less there, and whether you're in Baltimore, Aberdeen, Randallstown, or anywhere on the shore, there's always a Preston dealership ready to take care of you. Ford, Hyundai, Nissan, Mazda, and more, whatever you're looking for, Preston has a location near you. What you can do right now is click on the link that I have included in the top of the show notes. It'll bring you directly, as Bobby's future wife chimes in the waiting room. Can't wait to meet her. But take a look at Preston Motor. This is the link that it'll take you to. And you guys know the drill by now. If you tell them that I sent you, $500 towards a new or pre-owned vehicle is something you'll be able to cash in on. You can buy 4 tires, receive 50% off your alignment as well. You can contact them easily by filling out this form right here. And, of course, check out the available inventory section. Narrow down your search by make, model, keyword, price, vehicle condition, year, so on and so forth. Super easy to navigate. And a continued thanks to Preston Automotive Group for the opportunity to work with them. And I got my Bronco Sport down here in Florida. Really good on gas, super spacious. Tilly has all kinds of room. It's been an awesome partnership. Go support them. And if you do, you'll be supporting me. Before we get to the guest lines, this is also a piece of news that deserves our attention. Joey Bosa, by the way, heading to the Buffalo Bills. They find their Von Miller replacement. So Joey Bosa, 5-time Pro Bowler. He is heading to the Buffalo Bills on a 1-year, $12.6 million deal. I know Sarah and I have discussed him in recent weeks, but there's the deal there. Bosa cashes in. He's heading to join the Buffalo Bills on a 1-year, $12.6 million deal. As for Arthur Maulet, he's going to be released. It's going to create $2.2 million in cap space, and he was a key member, of course, of one of the league's best defenses back in 2023. He was banged up for a lot of last year. Jeff Zrebiec noting this. Again, played in just 3 games, which is a total bummer because this dude knows AFC North football. Great nickel corner. But again, not a surprise. That'll create some space. Arthur Maulet heading elsewhere. As for Marcus Williams, like Jeff notes here, both players always viewed along the way here as the most likely salary cap casualties. Williams will be let go tomorrow at the start of the new league year. And, of course, that's a move that was a formality after the two sides altered his contract back in January to facilitate his exit this offseason. So Jeff is on top of all of this. And Brian McFarland on top of the draft compensation and where things stand there. They're expected to receive, the Ravens are 4 compensatory picks, a 4th, a 5th, and 2 6th for last year's free agent losses of Patrick Queen, Jadeveon Clowney, Geno Stone, and Kevin Zeitler. So 11 picks. 11 picks in the draft, and here is the list of them coming up next month. The 27th overall selection, of course, in the opening round. 59th overall in the second. 91st in the third. A couple in the fourth at 129 and 136. 1 in the fifth at 176. 4 in the sixth. 183, 203, 210, and 212. And a 7th, 243. And there you go, Jameson. Make sure he notes, too, the specifics of what each of these mean. To the guest lines we go. We got over 500 of you joining me here late night. Appreciate you guys for hanging out. The guest line is being dropped into the live chat right now if you want to say a quick hello and give me your instant reaction on DeAndre Hopkins becoming a Raven, because that is the reality. And in my waiting room is someone who's referring to herself as my future wife, and I feel like I got to meet whoever this is because I may have a bone to pick with them. Maybe I'll ask him on a date. You never know how things go here. Bobby, late night. You just never know. Right? Right?
Yeah.
How are you?
Hi.
How's it going?
Chris brought me on. I had to say hello.
What's going on? Oh, Chris. Wait, Chris from earlier today?
Yeah.
Wait, Coach Chris from the
Much
gym?
He's here with me, but yeah.
Oh, I love it. So what's your name?
My name is Hope.
Hope. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Nice to meet you.
We're all dying to know your DeAndre Hopkins take here.
Yeah, we're down here in Alabama.
Down here in Alabama.
Yeah.
Wait, but Chris has got to show his face because I got to put a face to the name here.
She doesn't want to show.
Oh, Chris. I'm sorry. Okay, this is Chris. Crys. I thought you were talking about Coach Chris. Okay, I got you. I'm sorry. That went over my head. So this is like literally one of my most loyals. This is Crys. Chris.
Exactly. She's told me about y'all since I met her. Honestly.
So Hope, you're gonna let her dictate the camera right now, and you're not gonna pan over her. We got
that's-
six.
Her. That's how real she is. I trust her.
We got 600 people that are trying to stare her in the eye right now.
Okay. I trust that.
All right, how about this then, Chris? Give me your audio, and I want your thoughts because I know you got him on DeAndre Hopkins. How we feeling?
I'm happy about DeAndre.
This is hilarious. This is like Love is Blind here.
I'm also drunk, so you
Well, the
guys
good
gotta
news-
ignore me. But this is your future wife, and I wanted you to meet her because I'm going to send her your way.
Yeah.
Oh, you're trying to set me up with Hope.
Oh, I'm definitely setting you up. It's not trying.
Oh, okay. So Hope, you're Alabama based, huh?
I am.
All right, well,
She's
I'll be
not tied here.
Listen,
I'm not. I'm trying to move out of the state.
Hope, I'm a nomad. Everybody knows that watches this show. I'm a complete
Really?
nomad. I just
And
put my
she thinks
90
she's
days.
cute, Bobby.
I do
No.
think you're cute.
No one knows this, but man, you guys must be doing some Tuesday wine drinking. You know that?
We are.
Tequila.
Tequila a little bit.
Here- Here's the funny part. I had no intention of going Bobby after dark tonight, but here we are. So Hope, get ready.
Exactly. See?
Hope, here's the deal. And Chris knows this because she's, again, never misses a show. I just put my 90-day notice into my landlord in Baltimore, and I'm literally starting June 1st. I'm going into nomad life. I might be in Florida. I might be in frickin' upstate New York. I might be on the streets of Baltimore just working remotely from a frickin' gas station. You never know. But I'm going
There
nomad.
we go.
So if you have a spontaneous lifestyle, Chris will put us in touch.
Okay, absolutely.
Wait, so I need more analysis here from
Okay.
Chris about this fit. How are we feeling, Chris? I mean, this is the latest wide receiver room target for Lamar, and obviously those two guys have wanted to play together for a while now.
Right. I'm happy about it. I think he's a great wide receiver 3. I don't think that anybody that's upset about him being wide receiver 3 should be upset about him being wide receiver 3. So I'm happy.
Okay. All right.
It's a great signing. I'm happy for him over DK, especially.
Well, obviously, too, when you look at who wide receiver 3 was last year, wasn't getting it done with Nelly. All the best to Nelly, but they needed to
Nelly
upgrade.
wasn't doing anything, and then the fact that Kansas City wasn't using D-Hop correctly, I'm very happy to get him.
Oh, you think he wasn't being used correctly?
He was not being used correctly.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that. I didn't
Please
watch a ton of tape. Didn't watch a ton of Chiefs tape. But all right, you two. Well, great chatting. Chris, I'm finally, after all these friggin' months and maybe even years, you finally call in and you make
finally
Hope
get
do
my
your dirty
voice.
work. You make Hope do your dirty work. I mean, come on.
You
what are
had
you
some
doing?
dirty work. She wanted you, so I had to call you for her.
And I tell you what, you Alabama people, man,
Bold.
I guess so. I suppose so. Well, it was great meeting you both. Appreciate the call, and talk to you guys soon.
All right, bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Man, Tuesday nights in Alabama. I want some of that, right? Come on. Well, if you're just tuning in, what I mean by that, by the way, is Tuesday night wine nights. All right. I know you guys took that sexually. I want some of that. I know that's exactly what you're thinking. Anyway, DeAndre Hopkins is a Baltimore Raven, and now we get to see this trio. We'll see what happens. Plankton says D-Hop is washed and a terrible signing. Plankton, the live chat is open. The guest lines are open. Come on and pop on why you think this is a terrible signing. Did you see the numbers? This is just above vet minimum, bro. It's a no-brainer. Get to improve and upgrade your wide receiver 3. Bring in a dude that's extremely experienced. He's the most active yards any pass catcher in the league at wide receiver. I mean, this is low risk, maybe medium to high level reward. And I'll tell you this right now. Had D-Hop been on this roster when Zay and Bate went down in the postseason, I think they advance. I do. I think they advance. Instead, you're lining up, again, all due respect to these guys, but instead, in a do or die playoff game, you go 90 yards with Anthony Miller. Sorry, Manny. Tylen. I mean, it's probably not sustainable. That's not a sustainable recipe to make a deep run into January and then ultimately onto February. Your thoughts down in Mexico City?
Hey, I heard that Thailand comment, huh?
Well, now I just gotta obviously it's low hanging fruit when I get a chance to get you going about your boy.
Hey, well, also low hanging fruit. Since you were busy, I started a stream.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did because everybody was like, Bobby, get on it, get on. And it's like, I had to.
Nice. Well,
I
by the way,
got a cover from my boy. So
I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I was, as you can probably tell by my voice, got a little Cabernet Sauv in me. Josh.
hey, beforehand, stream is not sponsored by water. So
Yeah, exactly. Hey, by the way, those of you that are in the live chat, make sure you give Chris a little bit of feedback on Hope. She's asking for feedback on Hope, my future wife. So give her what she's looking for. But here's the deal.
Yeah.
DeAndre's in Baltimore, as we maybe suspected, or at least projected. Projected earlier today. We had a good solid back and forth on this. I had 3 receivers up on the board. We were looking at Cooper. We were looking at Amari. And we were looking at DeAndre. And just a few hours later, D-Hop is now a Raven. It's a $6 million deal. Has a chance to get to 6, I believe. Zrebeck said it's 5 with a chance to get to 6.
Yeah.
Just above veteran minimum. He'll turn 33 in June. Had over 500 yards receiving. A modest season for him, of course, in his standards. Between 2 different teams last year. Began in Tennessee. Was traded to Kansas City. And now he gets to join a Ravens group that is in Super Bowl or bust mode. That has 2 solid wide receivers that complement one another. But don't do what he's made a career on. And that is consistently overwhelm you as a contested catch type of guy, a 50-50 ball winning type of guy. And that's what the Ravens are paying for here. Your thoughts?
Well, from what we discussed this afternoon, it's a type of receiver that Lamar needed. Not only right now, but like years ago. They've been trying to hit on the X on the draft, but unfortunately they haven't. Is it needle moving 3 years ago? Yeah. Right now, maybe not, but I think what Chris said to me and what she said to you, Kansas City never used D-Hop properly. They were using him as speed. It's like, no. D-Hop is for contested catches. If you want a contested catch, you know what? A difficult one, he can go grab it. I mean, he still has it. And I expect Monken to use him like he was used on Houston, if you remember. With Watson before the allegations. So if we see that kind of D-Hop with us, oh boy. That tweet that he made on 2019, I expect 50 touchdowns. Not on the trio, but 50 touchdowns alone for Lamar on the air. Instead of, how many was it? 41?
This year?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right. Somewhere around there.
Like 40, 41 touchdowns passing, and then like 6 other for the ground. And take into account this. 3 of 4 interceptions were when the ball hit the wide receiver's hands and it bounced to the corner or safety. There's one that you can blame Lamar somewhat because Rashad stopping the route and maybe he didn't. There was miscommunication. You can blame that one, but still, now you got D-Hop that has more secure hands and those 50-50 balls or those easy targets. hey, maybe we go 45 touchdowns and just 2 interceptions. You know, you never know. Even Monken said Lamar's evolving. It's like I
Well,
can't
this
keep up with him.
offense, yeah, this offense is going to continue to evolve, and I like Kushnada's live chat that they just hit us with. This seems like the Ravens' MO. Bolden, Steve Smith, even Sharp, getting those vets right before they're over the hill to teach Bateman and Zay. So, yeah, this is how the Ravens do business, right, at this position.
Yeah.
It's how they've done business for years. It's how they've done business throughout the Lamar era, and they got to hope and pray that this is how one of the moves this offseason that'll allow them to get over the hump. Again, I don't believe this is ultimately like, oh, it pushes them across the finish line. To be clear, they have what they need. This is one of those moves that fits, replaces a puzzle piece that was missing, which was, okay, how can we push how can we push 1A and 1B
Yeah.
harder than we have in the last 2 years with Nelly? And I think that DeAndre does that in more than one way. Right? He's going to bring a certain level. He's going to bring tutelage. There's a tutelage that comes with DeAndre, right? There's a certain level of
Yeah.
expertise and experience that comes, like much like OBJ. And I think if he is accepting of that role, which clearly I think he's probably realized that he's at the point of his career where veteran minimums or just north of veteran minimums is the reality.
Yeah.
And he's chasing the elusive ring. And so with that, I think comes a different level of understanding of what your role is. And so I'm not saying that you're bringing him in to essentially be a mentor. No way. This guy's going to compete. This guy's going to hopefully change this offense around and give it a new weapon that Lamar hasn't had throughout his career. And that's all you got to hope for.
Yeah. And if you look at it from the mentor perspective, the first year of Say, you know, he was absorbing everything that Odell was telling him. Hey, you got to do this, you got to do that. And we saw it this last year with Say evolving as well. It's like in his route running, in his openness, going catching the ball. You saw it, and now Rashad is healthy. Say has already, you know, put to the test what Odell taught him, and now with D Hop mentoring these two, and who knows, maybe he gets to Tess and says, Tess, you're tall, you're fast. Come on, go get it. You got it. And he can even help. I expect Wallace back, even if it's just a depth guy, as you put it. You know, I expect Mike Dark Horse back because if there's one play that always works with him, left side, touchdown pass,
Slant.
Yeah, that's
left side slant to the house.
Yeah, and he has proven 2 times. 2 times that left side has been proven.
Bring it.
My question to you though, D Hub is now here. What happens to Andrews?
Stays. I've thought that all along. I don't think that's changed anything.
You think he stays?
Yeah, they're running it back with him. Oh yeah. Yeah, they're running it back.
So how do you do the contract? Those $11 million
for Mark?
Yeah.
Oh, they'll find a way. They owe him what is it, March 20th? What was it? 5 or 6 million March 20th?
Yeah.
They'll make sure that look, I don't think they're going to rip up his deal and give him an extension. I know that. I think look, to be clear, I think next year is, unless he's taking a crazy hometown discount. I think Mark, this is it for Mark, right? And matter of fact, every single tight end and fullback is entering a contract year. Think about that. So this room could look a lot different. I'll be curious to see how they handle that in the draft. Because Andrews, Kohler, Likely, and Ricard all entering contract years.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to find a way to make it work for Mark. Obviously, he's due quite a bit of money this year, but they're better with him. And I have not lost faith in him the way Sarah has. We had a good debate about that. And
yeah,
look, I refuse to live. I refuse to live in a world where in do or die moments, right? When things are going 1,000 miles an hour as a play caller, and you're going to think about what Mark hasn't done in years past rather than prioritize matchups, route concepts, and game strategy. I can't live in fear like that, you know? So
I think if he stays, I would like. Oh, you're muted, Bobby.
go ahead.
Um, I think you would have to talk to Lamar and say, "Hey, we're up against the cap. Maybe not that Josh Allen type of deal, but something nearby that can actually spread the money." I was thinking more so like, okay, if you want more money, we can make it incentive based, but more so not on statistics, but on getting the team where it's supposed to be. An incentive for reaching second place or first place for the playoffs. If you win the MVP, you get I don't know, 5 million guaranteed now and there. If you get 40 touchdowns that we know he can get easily, now with D Hop, hey, you get an incentive. You pass for 4,000 or 800 rushing, things like that that can not only make Lamar competitive but also help the entire team. I think you can do that type of contract with him because, I mean, we know Lamar wants it. So it's just a matter of discussing with him.
Appreciate you, brother. Great seeing you. ×2 today. We're making up for lost time last couple days.
Yeah, we gotta. Hey, good luck with that cookout. And don't forget water.
Talk soon, dude. Appreciate
All
you.
right.
How about this right here? How about JEJB says, why do you have such a hard on for Mark? Let him go. He isn't clutch. JEJ, call in. Call in, JEJ, and tell me. Tell me that. Tell me that to my face the same way you would in the live chat, that I have a hard on for Mark Andrews. Come on. The link's right there. Let's do it. But until then, let's get a deed in here. Coach Chris, Julian, I see you guys in here as well. Jabbo, by the way, if you turn your camera on, you were actually first. So Jabbo, if you want to pop on the stream, turn on that camera. I'd be happy to get you on. But in the meantime, let's go to Adit, get his thoughts on this. What's going on, brother? Welcome inside the channel.
Yeah, nice to see you, Bobby. I think with first of all with Mark, I think that they'll probably do what they did with Ronnie and change his contract to incentive based. And then because that would also, if they do in an extension, which I don't think they will after next year, at least you have some goodwill. But with the DeAndre Hopkins signing, one is who do you like as a number 3 receiver better, him or Nelson Aguilar? That's kind of where it is. It's kind of like in baseball where it's like, do you like this pitcher as your number 3 guy or the another option? I think DeAndre Hopkins, yes, he's 32, but to me, he needs to be really good, above average in like 1 or 2 areas. So maybe like third and mid, red zone. If he's above average there and average everywhere else, this is a good move. It's a steal. It's 5-6 million as well. And I don't know if you talked about this or any of the other guests have brought this point up. It increases the flexibility on what you could do with that last spot. They're like because if they go out and draft and they go out and get a really fast receiver who's like a special teamer but it's like 5'9", 5'10", you and Sarah, all the commenters, you're going to talk about, we need someone with size. We need a receiver with size. Bringing in DeAndre Hopkins, who can help you as a mentor, who can help you in many ways, especially at the price point, allows you to go and be more flexible with who you could target in the draft. And I think if, let's say, I'm biased, I went to Virginia Tech, they have Jalen Lane, who had like a 4.3 40, and someone like some other, like his physical numbers in the combine, you could check it out. They're really good. He's good punt returner, good speed. He can help you out, especially as a 5th receiver. But now, if you draft someone like him, and he's your number 5 receiver, this makes the wide receiving room that much better. Versus if you didn't sign someone like DeAndre Hopkins, and then you draft someone like one of these 5'10", 5'11" receivers, you're still missing that big target. So I think this does increase the flexibility of what they can do in the draft.
Totally agree, brother. Appreciate the call. It's great to see you.
No problem.
We'll catch up soon, man.
All right.
Guest lines are moving tonight, boy. They are moving tonight. Jabbo, you there? Julian, Coach Chris, Dre, all in the house. Jabbo's sitting in a dark room. He's either really depressed about this move or he's about to come in guns blazing. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe somewhere in between the two. What's going on, dude? You there?
Yeah, what's up, man? I don't like being on camera, so I just.
All right, I got you. It's like when they're doing the crime documentaries, right? And they want people to be anonymous, and they morph out their face and jack up the audio and whatnot. I should do that for you right now. But give me your thoughts, man. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, man? No, I love this move. I don't know why people are complaining, honestly. As others have said, this is just in the line of veteran wide receivers that the Ravens have brought in the past, and it worked out pretty well with Bolden. Obviously, won a Super Bowl. He's that different kind of receiver that we need, and I think he'll open things up for Zay underneath and Bate and everyone else. So I think it's a great move.
Love it, dude. Appreciate the call, man.
Thanks, man.
Yep, absolutely. Great audience tonight. Coach Chris back for round 2. Man, I was caught off guard earlier because Hope popped on the channel. I don't know if you were watching. And she goes, "Hey, I'm with Chris." And I'm like, "You're with Chris?" And the label said Bobby's future wife. I'm like, is Coach Chris got his lady trying to pit me out? Like, what the hell's going on here? Then it was brought to my attention that no. This is Chris, Crys. So anyway, maybe that's just the wine talking over here, but it's great to see you. Double session. You're back for more. You kind of gave me your thoughts earlier, but
man, I gotta be honest with you. I was a little dishonest earlier today because I figured DeAndre Hopkins was going to command a little more money than we thought. So I really thought there was really between, even though you listed 3 people, I really thought of it really as Amari Cooper and Cooper Kupp, because I just figured DeAndre Hopkins being healthy, and obviously we all know and seen what he's done in the past. I don't think he fit in Kansas City particularly well. Not that he's not a good player, and also you've probably seen this. You know what I'm saying? You've been around a lot of training camp practices, a lot of Ravens practices. Like sometimes receivers and quarterbacks just don't find themselves on the same page, whether it's how the receiver moves or how they think. They can both really and honestly try their best to try to be on the same page, and sometimes it just doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like it's not something that you would blame on anybody. You know what I'm saying? But I love this move, man. Like, first of all, this is somebody that doesn't have to get open to make a play. You know what I'm saying? Like, he does not have to be open, and Lamar's throwing people open these days. But the fact that he can go across the middle, make a big catch, sound the sideline, make a big catch, in the end zone, make a big catch, it just opens up so many options for us, especially now with the draft. Now that we've really shored up our O-line, I don't know if there's a guard worth picking at 27. So now trading down might be the move. You got to remember Tez Walker's still in the fold. He'll be coming into year 2. I don't know if they're going to keep any of those other guys. I really like those guys that finished that last drive for the Ravens. Tylan Wallace and Sims. They made some great catches on that drive, made some big plays in winning time for us. I'm a big fan of Tylan Wallace coming back if we could, to be honest with you. Every time he plays, he makes it happen. Like literally every time he gets an opportunity.
Except as a return specialist.
Well, didn't he run back a punt in a game to win the game?
He beat the Rams in 2023, but he had several muffs this year and had a wide open opportunity to fortify that position and coughed it up. So yes, dude, I'm not here. I'm not in the business at all of knocking down Tylan Wallace. One, that was a fact last year that as a return specialist, he kind of lost that opportunity, right? But to your point, he's a big game player at wide receiver, and he's put forth some big plays, not only on special teams there to beat the Rams a couple years ago, but also as a big play wide receiver in a very small sample size. So I guess what I meant by the 90-yard drive, to keep the game alive in Buffalo is, all due respect to Tylen and Anthony Miller and the rest of the guys that were out there, it's just not sustainable, right? That's not sustainable to go make a deep run into the AFC Championship game and try and get through.
I mean, we
Kansas
got
City.
a top 3 now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're solid.
Yeah.
I'm also kind of thinking now, it's not just that Mark Andrews, like, he has to go. I'm just wondering, at his price point, will he get enough targets? Right? Because, I mean, Zay's going to probably lead the team in catches, if not Bateman, one of those two. The other one's going to be second or third. Likely's ascending. It's almost like, where does he really fit in this? Like, not that obviously he's a good player, makes a lot of great plays, a lot of great catches, right? But just, I mean, like I said, you can't have everybody on the team. So it's like, would he be better off in the NFC West on the Rams? Would he be better off in the NFC Central? Just because it's like he's a volume, number 1, number 2 target tight end type player. Like, even we can debate on like the playoff game and the plays in there, but he's an 80+ catch, 8+ touchdown catches a season, 800 to 1,000 yard receiving yards guy. Like, he's still that guy, but he won't be that next season with all these targets and the running game. So it's like, is he going to be happy catching 35 catches?
Well, I don't think you sign up for this opportunity if you're not, right?
True.
I'm talking
about Mark Andrews, not DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking about Andrews. More money. You're talking about Andrews. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because DeAndre Hopkins, I'm like, he definitely, I think, could have got more money elsewhere. I think he's coming here to win. It's Mark Andrews that he's used to catching 50, 60, 70, 80, 88 passes. What did he catch? 11 touchdowns this past season. So
career high for him. Yeah,
probably not going to happen again. I mean, especially with Zay and Bate, they're going into year 3 and 4 here. Likely, I think, is one of the top tight ends in football, bro. He just needs the opportunity to play every snap. So I'm just like, that's what, like, you can't have everybody on your team. That's all I'm saying. And it's just, if he's going to stay, great, because a 5-wide situation with Bateman, Zay, D-Hop, Mark Andrews, and Likely, I like the sound of that, right? But realistically, when you're putting together a football team, does that fit? Does that work? That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna leave you to it.
I hear you, Chris. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for the call.
My man.
Couple of them today too. Busy. Guest lines are pumping. PB3. If you turn the camera on, we'll get you going. Julian, Dre on deck. PB3 in the house.
What's going on?
What's that stand for? Peanut butter?
Paul Brown III. I've been on your show a couple times before.
Well, let me give you the proper introduction then. Mr. Paul Brown III is in the building.
Sir.
It is 9:54. We got over 900 concurrents in the house right now. Give me your thoughts on DeAndre Hopkins becoming a Baltimore Raven.
Earlier today, man, when I first heard about it, I was on Coach Evans' show. And, I listened to you guys' show earlier today when you were going through
and who had this shit? Hey, who had this shit? Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Who had that Diop, huh? Who had it?
And that's what I told Coach. I was like, I was watching the vote earlier, and Sir and Bobby was talking about it, and they literally said it's probably gonna be D-Hop.
Oh, you're damn right. You're damn right. That's what you heard this afternoon.
So, I mean, but it's if you follow the Ravens, you know that's 1,000% a Ravens move. Just bottom line. That's 1,000% Ravens move. It's a historic wide receiver. Let's just say it. He's a little past his prime, right? He's not going to be the D-Op of the Texans days. He's not going to be that. But then, I was out with my kids and I was thinking about it more and more. This has to be a situation where Todd Monken uses him the right way. We need to start seeing 3 wide receiver sets I forgot what the formation is called. I don't know if it's 11 personnel, 12 personnel, or whatever it's called. But we need to start seeing, 3 wide receiver sets with a tight end. And sorry, Bobby, I hope that tight end is likely.
Hey, what?
I'm just saying.
I love Isaiah. This dude's gonna get extended. This dude is the most talent. He might be the most talented pass catcher they have on the freaking team.
Exactly. I mean, I'm like, sir, I'm good if Mark stays, I'm good. If Mark goes, I'm good as long as they bring, let Isaiah shine. You know what I mean? If they let Likely shine, I'm good either way. But I'm just thinking about it from a defensive standpoint of facing the Ravens. You have Bateman, you have Zay, you have D Hop, you have Isaiah or Mark with LJ and the King in the backfield. Out of those 3 wide receivers, you can't sleep on either one of them. You can try to put your third cornerback on D Hop thinking he old or whatever if you want to, he gonna burn you. So I'm looking at it from that standpoint, like he's gonna command attention from the defense to the point where it's like, okay, you can't double nobody. You can maybe try to bracket, Zay or something like that. But then you got Bateman who on tape has been putting DBs in the blender one on one. So I mean, I think if Todd Munkin uses him right, unlike they did with OBJ, I don't think they did enough with him when he was here as far as actually inserting him into the offense. But I think if they do that with D Hop, I think it'll be I think it'll be a matchup nightmare for the defense, honestly. And you can still run out of that formation. I mean, I
It
think
might.
it'll be good. I think as a third wide receiver, we'll definitely get more production out of him than what our third wide receivers gave us, the previous season. So I'm coming around to liking it, not in love with it, but liking it. Um, but also I think this was a move where it's like, Lamar asked, let's get him. But I still think they need to go in the draft just to get younger because it's still a 1-year rental. Let's see what Taz gives us. I would, just like the last caller, I would like to see them bring back Tylen Wallace. I really would like to see him bring him back just for, again, opportunity. I think if he's given more opportunity, not a 2 or anything like that, he would definitely be a death piece or something like that. But I mean, when I said the coach he had 11 targets. He had 12 targets last year with 11 catches.
Well, let me just float this out there. Zay Flowers,
Mm-hmm.
Rashad Bateman,
Mm-hmm.
DeAndre Hopkins,
Mm-hmm.
Tylen Wallace,
Mm-hmm.
Devontae Walker, and
Mm-hmm.
a rookie to either round out your 6 or beat out Devontae for the final spot if you want 5.
I think they're gonna go. I think they may end up going 7 because of the fact of who's the guy they signed already, Miller or Sims, one of those two.
Well, Miller's on the practice squad.
Well, yeah, Miller's on the practice squad, so you probably keep him on the practice squad. And then did they re-sign Sims or they have him on a 10-year or something? I can't remember.
I'd have to look at Sims.
Yeah, I can't remember, but
I think he's a free agent.
one of those guys is gonna have to play punt return. You know what I mean? Like they gotta have a punt returner. So and usually that falls in your wide receiver room.
Well, I don't know what they're going to do with that because Deontay
Right.
Hardy was brought in last year.
He was a wash. That
Right,
was
Deontay
a
Hardy.
waste. That was
Yeah.
a complete waste.
Yeah, Deontay. Yeah, it didn't work out. Didn't work out. He showed some good tape. He had some good tape the year prior in Buffalo.
Right. Unless your draft pick, so you can get like a 5th or 6th round wide receiver where you look for some guy who is a return specialist, and that's the wide receiver you draft because you have a room. I mean, you got a solid room right now. So
right now you got candidates though, right? You have candidates for return specialists. 2 that come to mind. One is Tylen, and the
Yeah.
other is Keaton.
I mean, you could put Keaton back there because he's probably not going to get a lot of burn at running back, unfortunately.
Justice Hill is also a candidate, but you don't want to use him.
You don't want to, you don't want to use Justin. But I mean, or maybe maybe in the playoffs or something like that, but not regular season. And then do you really want to put Mitchell back there? Because he can be explosive on your offense. So do you want to risk him getting hurt back there, returning the kick or a punt? I mean, it's not like the return. I mean, I don't know. I just think they need to bring somebody in, even though, like you said, they have those two options on the team, and then, unless Wallace, if they re-sign Wallace, he would definitely have to show more than what he showed last year as far as special teams, as far as a return specialist. But
Sims is a free agent. Just to be
Sims is a free agent. Okay. I thought
will be starting tomorrow at 4.
Oh, okay, so okay. I mean, I think they got some good options in the wide receiver room now. I think the way that they have the two moves, even though, again, it's the Ravens way, us Ravens fans should be used to this. The Ravens solidified some spots. You re-sign Ronnie, right? Uh, you re-sign Ronnie. You get D-Hop. So going into the draft now, you can really concentrate on BPA. Now, one other position that I think we are kind of forgetting about with the benching of Trenton Simpson last year is linebacker.
Oh, dude, they just let Malik and Chris walk. So yeah,
Right.
hell yeah.
And
They might
exactly.
draft 2. They might draft 2
Eh,
inside linebackers. In this.
Exactly. Because when I saw those two signings, I was like, oh man, that's another hole outside of, the guards on the offense and pass rusher. Now it's like, okay, are you fired the linebackers coach? So is that going to be enough? The fact that you got a new coach, or do you actually want to bring in another talent to see if, to give Trenton some competition in that, because you just let your two vets walk out the door. So you got to bring in some kind of competition, or unless you're throwing all your eggs in his basket to perform next year. And if
No
he
doubt.
doesn't, who do you turn to? Because you have no more backup on the team.
Time will tell,
So
Paul. I'm gonna let you go,
time will
brother.
tell.
I appreciate
I
the call,
appreciate you,
man.
Bobby, man. Thanks, man. I'll see you in the
Absolutely.
morning.
Thank you so much for coming on. Yeah, great call. Great call. And rounding out the show is my guy, Jewel. I assume you're mid-night shift right now. You got your mind on one thing and one thing only, and that is week 1 of 2025. Give me your reaction, and we'll shut it down for the night. We got over 1,000 concurrents tonight. Big show.
Well, I'm gonna make this real quick as I'm about to head on out to the road with my guy right here. So I just clocked in, so I don't know if you can hear me. But yeah, I like this move. It's a really good move. I say, if it was Cooper Cup, then probably was gonna be DeAndre Hopkins. So this is a good move for us. Um, Only thing left is to fill out the rest of the holes in our roster, and then we should be good. I'm ready for week 1. So
Hell yeah.
I ain't got nothing to complain about this.
Hell yeah.
Because
I
you're
love
not
it.
expecting too much from DeAndre Hopkins, but production from him, which he can bring. So I like this move. So
I love it,
not a
brother.
game
Safe
like
travels
that.
tonight.
All right, Bobby. I'll see you on the next live stream.
Talk to you soon, man. Safe travels. Appreciate you, Jewel. Have a good night shift. Would love for you guys to join the Bobby Baltimore Discord server. It is alive and well right now. Look at everybody's chatting about this DeAndre Hopkins move. Jabbo is saying, sorry about the dark room. I just prefer not to be on camera. Don't be sorry at all, Jabbo. I love it. Evan's in here. Evan, are you trolling again? Emoji lives matter. That's your header? Unbelievable. Chris is in the building as well. Maybe she's in here with Hope getting after it. Oh, there's Manny's stream that he was talking about. Manuel's COD channel. I didn't even know you had a channel. Okay. Just figuring that out. Text Bobby and tell him to go live before he upsets me. This is great. I didn't see all this. But anyway, guys, I would love for you to join the Bobby Baltimore Discord server. It's a 24/7 hub for conversations surrounding Baltimore sports. As you can see, it's a great way to find me directly. It's a little bit more informal. And you can see the link to join. Again, it's free. Coming up on 800 members. by clicking on the link that I have included as a pinned comment in the show notes. And for good measure, I'll just throw it in here right now into the live chat. So there you have it, right in front of you. The Joey Bosa news came out. That's official. NFL tweeting that he is going to Buffalo to become a new Bills defensive end. And with that, I am staring at a 6 a.m. alarm for my F45 class here in Orlando. So I'm going to jump, but really productive day of content. I appreciate you guys for hopping on board with me. Over 1,000 concurrents on a spontaneous Tuesday night, day 2 of free agency. So, yeah, thanks, guys. Enjoy it. DeAndre Hopkins is a Raven. Arthur Marlette was released. We know the rest of the moves that have taken place, and let's see what happens from here. So much more to come. Like the video on your way out. Subscribe if you haven't already done so, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified of when I'm dropping my daily live content. And what I should really do before I leave is show a little bit of love to my youngest sister, my only sister, Tori Trosset, who is in San Juan right now, enjoying herself with her new fiance. That's right. It's the first time I've said it. Fiance. Are you kidding me? Look at this. They're in San Juan, Puerto Rico. My brother-in-law, my future brother-in-law, Francisco, popped the question a few days ago. On the 5th, they had professional photography, so they waited a little bit until the album was sent their way to post. But I can't tell you how proud I am. I mean, look at her. She's just stunning. Happy as heck. He treats her well. He's Argentinian. Speaks fluent Spanish. Got a good job. Loves Tori. I mean, just absolutely loves Tori with, you can just tell, with all his heart. Good family man. And this is the big Trosset news. The big family news that just took place last week. So yeah, we got a new brother in town. So congratulations to these two. I'm thrilled for them. Appreciate you guys. All right. Tomorrow it is. You know, we'll have plenty to talk about. Sarah and I will dedicate, I'm sure, at least 30 minutes to talking about the DeAndre Hopkins signing. So I look forward to that. And until then, later, thanks to Preston Automotive Group for the support, for sponsoring this episode. Click on that link in the top of the show notes to learn more about them. Take advantage of a few of the different offers that I have available to you. I'll catch up with you guys soon. Later.